first sewing unit. This is going to be the first of hopefully many videos. I'm going to demonstrate how to make the headpiece since that was requested on the Facebook group. You'll need about a yard of fabric, and you'll want to fold it not all the way across, but try to save some fabric and fold it about as wide as the headpiece is going to be. You can take a headpiece that you already have and use that. You're going to place it on the fold. This is folded right here. You're going to fold your headpiece in half and match it up so it's in half. And then you can just cut around the headpiece like that. And then, you know, you can transfer it onto paper or some other kind of fabric or whatever, and then you'll have your headpiece pattern. I've made one because I make them all the time. I've made one out of, I don't know, this is interfacing or something. So what I'm going to do is place it on the fold and cut it out. And you can kind of play around with the shape that you want it to be around your head. But this one is pretty universal. It works for me. It works for most of my customers. And as you see, I'm not going slow, and it might be 1/8 of an inch off, or, you know, it really doesn't matter. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to make a little snip, right? Mine is, I believe, 10 inches. So that means the tie in the back will be about 20 inches. You don't want it to be the same circumference as your head because it won't get tight. You want it to be a little bit short of the circumference of your head so you can get a tight knot on it. So mine is 10 inches, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it's 10 inches. Okay, and then so you just take your pattern piece off, and then you have the basis of your headpiece. Okay. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut the facing for the headpiece, which is the underside ties that we tie it with. I use any type of broadcloth or cotton, and you want it the same color or pretty close to the same color. And it's okay if it's a shade or two off, or sometimes it can be completely different because the way you'll sew it, you're not going to be able to see the color underneath anyway, but sometimes there's some slight shading if it's too dark. So try to get as close as match as you can. So this is the cotton or the broadcloth. This is the fold down here. I'm going to use the same pattern, or if you want to use your headpiece that you have, that's fine. You're going to just do the same thing. And what you're going to do is you're going to make it wide about, I'd say about 3 or 4 inches. So I'm just going to eyeball it. I can see the fabric underneath. It's about, this is how wide my facing is going to be. That's about right. It doesn't have to be just like right and exact. If you want to make a pattern piece for this, that's fine. But you're going to use the same headpiece pattern anyway. So then you just cut around that. The only difference is, oh, and by the way, this is 45-inch wide cotton. You can get 60-inch wide, but just don't make your tie that long. So you're going to go around, and when you get to that little snip, you're going to cut away a little bit. You're not going to just keep cutting straight. You're actually going to cut just a little bit wider than what it was, and just kind of angle down and cut straight across. Okay, so this is where you snipped it, and then wherever you snipped it on your fashion fabric, you just come out a little bit and then just blend it on back down. Okay, I'm going to serge mine. You don't have to if you don't have a serger. So this is the right side of the fabric is facing up, and there's one little snip, so I'm going to start there, and I'm going to serge that. Now normally I would have used this color yellow thread, but because this is a demonstration, I didn't feel like turning. And then I'm going to serge all the way around. And you're not pulling, you're not pushing, you're just kind of guiding it through. And I'm trying to hold my machine because it's slipping on this board. And then I'm going to do the other side to the clip. Okay. You're going to finish the edges of the facing. And this is what the facing looks like. This is the wrong side that's facing up. And because this was the selvage edge of that 45-inch fabric, I don't have to do anything with that. So all you do is turn it under like 1/8 of an inch twice, and then kind of finger press and then put it under your machine, and you just start sewing. And then when you need a little bit more, you just fold it under twice again, and then when you need more, just go down and fold it over twice. It's very easy to fold cotton twice at this narrow. And you do that all the way across. You kind of hold it taut while you're doing it. Back stitch when you get to the end, and actually when you start. Take your edges off. Now you're going to do the hem for your headpiece. So this is my wrong side is facing up. So I'm just going to turn that under. Just once though. Twice if you didn't serge, but if you serged it, all you need to do is once. It's very easy to manipulate the fabric or hem it when the hem is this narrow. So if you did not serge it, you just go once, and you could go around once and then come back and do it again, or you can just do twice, whatever's comfortable for you. But it's very easy. And you want a narrow hem on your headpiece. So as you see, I kind of slipped off right there, so I'll just come back and go over that when I'm done. And remember that the bobbin thread is what's going to be shown on the right side of your headpiece. So just make your narrow hem. You're about 50% of the way done to your headpiece at this stage. The headpiece, now I have the right sides facing up, and I'm going to attach the facing. So you're going to attach the facing to the headpiece, right sides together. You're going to match the little notch that we have right there in the front, how it goes down in a V, and then where I clipped into the headpiece and then where I clipped out of the facing, that should be just about a match, and it is. And so I'll put a pin there. I'll maybe put a pin in the middle and do the same for the other side. And if it's off just a little bit, it's okay. It's not really a big deal. See how it's off just a little bit? I'll just put a pin where it stops in the back. And then I'll sew. I'm going to start from that point. And you're going to sew about 1/4 of an inch away. Your one of your presser feet, one side is generally 1/4 of an inch. If it's a little bit more, it's okay, but it's about 1/4 of an inch, no more than 3/8. And so you just stitch at 1/4 of an inch or a little bit more. Follow the V. Sometimes at this V I go down a little bit further just because I like it like that. Make sure your edges are lined up. And then what you'll do is you're going to make a clip right in the middle, down to the stitching, to the last stitch. So it opens up like that, and you'll see why in a second. And now I'm going to understitch. What this is going to make the facing stay under the headpiece. So you turn it over, turn your headpiece over, what you just did. I was just sewing the headpiece like this with the headpiece, with the facing up. I was sewing it like this. Now I'm going to just turn it the other way on the other side, and I'm going to hem the facing the same way I did this side. I'm just going to start at the end. I'm going to make two, I'm just going to fold it over twice to begin my hem. And if you need to use something to put it underneath your presser foot, that's fine. Sometimes at the beginning of household machines, the fabric gets stuck when you start off, so you might want to start a little bit further up. And you just start your hem like you did on this side. You fold it under twice. Now, this was the part where you clip the facing out. So now you have enough to make those two folds and go right onto the understitching of your facing. Make sure this is your headpiece is out of the way. Now when you start to understitch, understitching means that you take the seam allowances, which is this, and you sew them to your facing. So you're going to fold this or spread it out to make sure you have no wrinkles on the back side, on the underside, which would be the correct side. And you just keep kind of spreading it. Go all the way to where you made that clip in the middle. And then you can kind of start going the other way. That's why you made the clip, so there wouldn't be stress there. You always want to get these little threads out of the way. So here we are again where I clipped out on the facing, so I'm going to fold it under twice, just like I did the other side. And if you need something to stick it under there, that's fine. Get you started. Now I'm just going to fold twice like I did. Finger press it. Back stitch. Okay, now we're going to go to the ironing board because you're just about done. I'm going to press. And you want to use a press cloth when you press. I use, this is silk organza. You see how the difference in color. It was white, but this is my press cloth. And the reason why you use that, it prevents shine, and it protects your fashion fabric. And silk is very sturdy and very durable, and it can take a lot of heat. So with a hot iron, you can press on your polyester and not get any shine and not get any melt or anything else. So you want to press around the hem to make that nice and crispy, nice and pressed. And if you want to add it, well, I don't think it needs it, so I'm not going to show it. I was just going to say you can use a piece of wood or something to really press it down. And you just go all around and do the hem. Making sure you have your press cloth. Don't think that you can put no hot iron on no polyester fabric just real quick to just touch it up real quick. No, it's gonna melt or leave shine. So always have a press cloth. It doesn't have to be silk organza. It could be an old pillowcase that you cut, an old piece of cotton, anything. A flour sack towel or anything. Okay, so now that's the hem. Now I'm going to press down the facing. And the reason why you understitched is now you see that when I press this, the cotton or the facing is going to stay to the wrong side. This understitching makes sure that this cotton fabric stays to the outside. So you want to kind of set that up to how you're going to press it. Put your press cloth on and press. Now I might use my tailor board or something to press it down because I want that edge to be really neat. And you're going to press all the way down your tie because you want everything to be neat and professional. Going to do the same thing to the other side. And if you see, after you're done, if you see any loose threads and all that, clip them off like this. Just make sure they're clipped off. Now you're 98% done. So then we're going to go back to the machine. The facing is now made secure by it being understitched to the broadcloth. So what you're going to do is now you need to secure it so when you tie it, it's not going to flap around. So this is where the clip was. So you're going to sew through all layers, just straight through there where they stopped being connected. That's, I can see underneath where the facing ends. Ooh, I can't see the hole. Excuse me, son. Okay, you see underneath where the facing ends, so you're just gonna backstitch a little bit right there. Go through all layers, and you're gonna do the other side. And there we have a completed headpiece, all in about, I guess, 15 minutes from start to finish. So when you put your headpiece on, you're going to tie it, the facing will stay underneath, and you're good to go. So, good luck. I'm sure everybody will post their success stories, and the next video will be how to make a pant skirt. All right, thanks.